Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over your basic stance and how you need to hold your hands, where you need to be placed against your opposition, your partner, your opponent, whatever you want to call them. So first off, I need to make sure that I don't have my feet in a line parallel or parallel this way. I'm not going to have my balance side to side this way, and I'm not going to have my balance forward and backwards. This is probably the worst way you could be, because if he hits me with anything, I'm going to be off balance. And that's not where I want to be. It's easy to knock down for your partner, for your opponent in the fight. Even though the punch or the strike may not have hurt you, you just don't have the balance. So I want to make sure that I put my feet together in the beginning. Step your dominant hand foot back. Make sure you feel comfortable. It should feel like you're surfing. If you never surf, you should just be able to move every direction and feel balanced there. Now, once I get this position, if I move any direction, the direction I'm moving, that foot that's closest to that direction moves first. So if I move forward, front foot moves, then the back foot moves, and I'm back in my stance. If I move backwards, back foot, and then the front foot, back in my stance. If I move to the right, right foot moves, left foot moves, back in my stance. Move to the left foot moves, right foot moves, back in my stance. I never want to cross or move my opposite foot first, because now I'm in that parallel area where I told you I didn't want to be because I don't have my balance. Right? If I go backwards and I move this foot first, my feet are parallel at some point. So when I move backwards, I want to be here, forwards here, right, left. All right. Now lining up on your opponent. First, I want to make sure that I'm not in range to be able to get hit. Move up a little bit. If I can just touch him right here, most likely he can just hit me, because you're going to be fighting, if it's MMA fight, you're going to be fighting somebody about the same height, weight, and everything like that. So I want to make sure I'm just at a range where I can't hit him, he can't hit me unless he takes a step. Because then when he takes his step, it gives me time to see his punch or strike coming, and I can move back, get out of range, block, do whatever I need to do. Preferably, I like to move. If he moves in, I'm going to move back, and I still need to block. That's fine, but I'm not stuck in a different range now. I'm still right in my range. Whenever he starts to go back, then I can come right back in, and we're right back where we started. That gives me more time to throw back, and it also gives me more time to be ready to defend. Also, once I get my range, I want to make sure that my dominant side foot is on the outside of his foot. I don't need it to be way over here, because he's not going to fight me sideways like this. Unless he was a karate guy, he's not going to be standing here trying to fight me like this. Alright? If I get to the side, I don't care if this person has never fought a day in their life. It might be somebody on the street, you're in a street fight. You get to the side, they're going to turn. It doesn't feel comfortable for them to be right here. Alright? So we get back in our stance, measure our distance. Now, right foot's going to be just outside. Can't be too far outside. I like to call it the outside shade. I'm just outside of him. That's going to help me slip punches, get angles, do all the things I need to do to, for one, land my calf kick, get my head off the center line, work in for takedowns if that's what I want to do. And when he throws punches, it's easier for me to get out of the way. If I'm in the middle, it's really hard for me to get all the way to the side of the punch when he's throwing straight down the middle in time and still be balanced, because all my weight's over here now. Alright, so once you get your stance down, we're here, hands up. I like to wear my pinky and my thumb, if I'm wearing my gloves, or just, you're doing bare knuckle, whatever. My pinky and my thumb touch. My thumb on this hand should be able to touch my chin. My pinky should be able to touch that. I don't want to have this too far out here. I don't want to have it too close in. I want to be about right here. And now, just outside, just out of range. If I go to strike, I throw in, step in, get right back out of range. Strike, step in, right back out of range. Right when you get done throwing, you're out. Unless you're throwing strikes, you are not in. Alright, so now that we got our stance down, we're not too far this way, we're not too far this way, we're not in too close. The next thing we have to worry about is where our front foot is facing. If this was 2000, maybe even 2010, it's not a big problem to have to deal with. But here in the past 3 or 4 years, calf kicks have become a big problem. I use them a lot. If I ever see my opponent's foot turned in, I'm kicking that front foot, kicking that front calf every time. So I always want to have this front foot facing the back foot. My toes on my front foot need to be facing the toes on his back foot, if not even more. So when he goes to throw the kick, my leg is already in the position that it needs to, where he hits my shin instead of my calf. And if even if I see the kick coming late, my leg is in the right position. I don't have to pick it up. I can just lean in, take it like that. Or even if I don't see it and he just kicks straight, he's still kicking shin instead of kicking the calf. If at any point the foot's turned in, I'm throwing the kick every single time. So I'll set people up by moving here, get this little outside, kick, moving, kick. Make sure that foot is always towards, the front foot's always towards the back foot. You should be good on that. Alright, so now we're going to go over the basics on your punches. So now that I have my stance correct, front foot's not turned in, it's turned out facing the outside. If I don't have an opponent, don't have a partner, just make sure it's not turned inwards. Have it out just a little bit. I'm going to have my hands up in that position where I already had them. When I go to throw my jab, I want to make sure my weight stays back on this back foot. If I lean in with my jab, boom, and put my weight heavy on this foot, then this next punch is going to come really weak because it's just an arm punch. I can't really turn either because I have all my weight on this foot. Alright, so when we throw this jab, we want to keep our weight back. We're going to be about 60-40 at any time that we're standing here. If we're too heavy on this front foot, we can't pick it up the check. We can't really move the leg without falling right back down. So we need to be 60-40, 60 on the back, 40 on the front. That way if somebody throws a kick, I need to turn it, do whatever. I'm fine right there. Alright, so I'm back in my stance. I throw my jab, my weight stays back, still 60-40. Put this foot up into the outside just a little bit. Right back. Make sure you're not bringing this punch back down to your hip. It comes right back to the chin because people, when you get to a higher level, even at a lower level, you're taught to follow the hand back. If you throw a jab and I keep seeing that hand come back down, that's going to be on this side. Right when you get done with that jab, I'm bringing this cross back because I know your hand's not going to be there to block. Alright, so I'm in, jab, hand comes right back to my stance. Jab, foot goes right back to my stance, and I'm right back in. Alright, now, every punch you throw, your shoulders should turn. It should be almost as if you're shooting a bow and arrow. So when I throw my jab, if I keep my arms, my shoulders straight, then for one, I'm not getting all my body weight in there. I'm losing about 4 extra inches on my punch as well. And I'm not setting myself up for the next punch. So each time I throw a punch, the foot of the side that I'm throwing needs to be pivoted on. My shoulders need to turn. I'm going to have this hand up. If I was shooting a bow and arrow, that elbow would be up. I'm just going to keep that elbow down, but I'm still going to keep the hand right here, shoulders turned facing this way. That way when I go to throw my next punch, it's already set up. My power hand's in the back. So when I go to turn, my weight shifts to the front foot. And now I'm ready to throw. Shoulders facing that way, hands up, elbow down. Don't keep that elbow flared. It leaves your body wide open. And now when I get ready to throw the next punch, it may be a punch or a kick. Then I'm going to shift my weight back. My head's going to come across. Say I'm throwing the 3. I don't want to leave my head on this side because then I'm off balance this way. And I can't throw anything after this, and I'm not ready to defend. So I was in that position, weight on the front foot with the 2. When I go to throw this 3, I'm going to shift my weight back across by moving my head across. Wherever my head is, that's where my body weight's going to be. Alright, so I'm here with my 2. I throw my 3. My weight shifts back to this leg. Alright, now we're ready to throw something on this side. It might be a knee, a kick, punch. Well, I'm going to go through all the punches. I'm going to throw my 4. It's going to be a right uppercut. I'm going to shift my weight back by moving my head across. Weight's on this foot. Hands up. Through my uppercut. Now I'm going to shift across to throw my 5. Weight shifts back. Last punch is going to be your right hook. Your number 6 if you're right-handed. Now I'm going to shift my weight back across just as I did on the 3. Head's going to come across. Hands up. If my hand is not throwing a punch, it is up touching my chin or my jaw. Alright? My cheek or my chin, I'm sorry. This way, I'm always protected. Shoulders up on this side, and I'm protected on both sides. When I get done with my strikes, I'm right back to my stance. So, all of these in a little bit of slow motion. 1, weight back, foot pivoted. 2, weight forward, foot pivoted. 3, weight back, weight on this side, foot pivoted. 4, weight forward, foot pivoted on the side that I threw. 5, foot pivoted, weight back. 6, weight forward, foot pivoted on the side that I threw, right back to my stance. Every time you throw a strike, make sure you're turning your shoulders to get all the power in. Also, to be ready to throw your next strike. All right, so we just went over the punches. Now we're going to go over the kicks. So we have many different kicks. We have roundhouse kicks. We have the calf kick. We have our teep kicks. We're going to go over the calf kick first. So, like I said, especially if I see my opponent has his foot turned in a little bit, I don't care if it's turned in just a hair. I should be able to get this kick there quick enough because I'm not loading it up and bringing it really wide around. I'm bringing this kick straight. I'm not going to put much on there. It doesn't take much to land and hurt your opponent with this. I do want to land with my shin. I'm going to take my little step, land shin, get right back out. Shin, right back out. Now, any of the kicks that we throw that are below the body, below the torso, leg kicks, I need to make sure I don't throw my hand down. I kind of had a problem with this in one of my UFC fights against Kyung Ho Kong. I was winning with the leg kick, this calf kick. I already beat the leg up. Kept throwing that hand down. He timed one. I'm off balance. Hit me with the cross. I was off balance. He got a knockdown for it. Won him the round. Probably won him the fight. But if I'd have had my hand up in the cross, that would have never happened. Fight changes. So, me learning this from experience, I already knew this. It's just in the fight, having a good time, throwing the kick it was landing. Forgot to keep the hand up. Make sure that does not happen. All right, so every time I throw this kick, hand can be in his face, or I can throw it down and the opposite side hand can come across. I don't want to have this hand on this side because he's not hitting me with anything on this side. This hand needs to come across to this side if I do throw that hand down. All right, if you throw the hand down, you will get a little more power, but like I said, this is not a power kick. It's more speed to get them while their foot's turned in and right back out. That hand goes down, this hand comes across. If not, I post this hand in his face so he can't see the kick coming, and also the shoulder's up. It's going to be hard for him to hit me at the same time. All right, so that's the basics of just the calf kick. Now we're going to go to this thigh kick. So whenever I go to the thigh kick, I'm going to need to step. Whenever I throw any of these kicks with my right leg, I'm kicking to the left. Right leg is kicking to the left. I need to make sure I step and open my foot up. If I keep my foot turned in, which should be turned in anyways, or straight, then I'm twisting on my knee, which is not good for my knee, and I'm not getting as much power because my body does not work like that. So I want to make sure my foot opens up. I throw, and I can throw straight across. If you have somebody that's sitting down in a little lower stance, I like to chop it down like a tree with the axe. I step, bring my leg up, and then come down across. Again, I'm throwing to the leg so he can strike at the same time. His hands aren't doing anything. If he tries to catch the kick with his hand, that's a big mistake for him. Next time you throw a kick, make it look like it's going low, come high. So every time I throw this kick, his hand needs to either be here or down, and the other hand comes across. If he's in a lower stance, maybe he's a wrestler, I'm going to fake the kick high and come down. All right, inside kick, inside leg kick. Whenever I throw this kick, I do not want to come really wide with this kick. Any of these leg kicks, I'm not coming really wide. It gives them a long time to see it. The kick's coming straight at an angle, unless it's the kick that I'm axed down. It's going to come up and then down, but it still does not go really wide. It's easier to see. All right, so I step with my back foot forward, and I'm going to land with my shin. If you can, land more upper shin instead of lower shin. If you watch Anderson Silva, which he wasn't throwing his front leg, he's southpaw. He was still throwing this outside leg, of his back leg, but it was still to the inside. All Chris Weidman had to do was turn that leg down. He hit the lower part of the shin on the higher part of the shin or knee. Lower part of the shin is way smaller, way weaker. That's why it broke. So I make sure whenever I step in, I am trying to land with my mid to upper shin, and then I get right back. Wherever my front foot steps to, that's where my back foot steps to, that's where my front foot's going to return to, as far as in a line. So I step up to here, kick, front foot comes back down, back foot readjusts, and I should be right back in my stance. There shouldn't be many steps. It's one step, kick, step back foot returns, right back in my range. All right, now the last leg kick that I'm going to show is going to be the rear leg kick. It is really used a lot by American kickboxers and Muay Thai. Andy Hu was really big on doing it. So is Ernesto Hoost. So same thing as I'm throwing the inside leg kick. Maybe I throw it a bunch and he gets hit and he's kind of getting used to it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure I get my head off the center line when I throw this kick, so that I don't get punched. For one, I should have the hand up, this hand or this hand in the face. But at the same time, I'm still going to lean off to get my body weight into the kick and to get my head off the center line, just in case I missed the block with the punch. I missed blocking the punch. So I'm here. I step just like I was going to with the inside leg kick. Whenever I throw, I'm going to throw to the back leg instead of this inside. And I'm going to get right back. One step, one step. One step, boom. Foot returns, one step. Should be right back in my range. Again, inside, back in my range. Hand down, back in my range. Alright. Next we have the body kick. The easiest one to throw would be your rear leg, because you don't have to do any adjustments, you don't have to switch. So when I'm going to throw this body kick, I still want to have my head off the center line, and this time the hand can come down. I still like to have my hand up, because they might throw that punch and it get there faster than my kick does. But I am going to throw this hand down to help with the torque and get more speed and power into the kick. So whenever I'm going to throw my rear leg kick, I step to the outside. I want to make sure I'm not stepping this way to your right to throw my kick to the left, because it takes away all my power. Alright? So whenever I throw with my right leg, I step to the left, open my foot up to the left, and I want him to be right in between my legs. So when I kick, I'm not just hitting on the end, I'm pulling through with my kick to create power. If I'm all the way over here and I throw and step, by the time my leg leaves the center line of my body and comes to this side, it's just slapping. It's still going to hurt, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to have all the power in there and not going to have my hips to help push through. If I kick from over here, once my leg gets to here and is in line, it keeps going, it's just going to be a slap. You're going to have the speed and the momentum of that leg, but that is it. If I'm where I need to be, foot's barely outside of his, I have the outside shade, and I'm going to step outside to the left. I'm going to have all the power of my hips and the momentum at the same time to get that kick in the right place and to make it land as hard as possible. Hand's going to come down to help torque. You can put the hand in the face. Sometimes I do. 90% of the time I'm going to throw that down and bring the other hand across. Now, important on all of these kicks, I'm not kicking with my foot. I'm kicking with my shin. Foot has a bunch of small bones, easy to break. If I kick him in his knee with my foot, it's probably going to break. If I kick him in the elbow with my foot, it's probably going to break. If I kick him with my shin bone, 99% of the time, it's not going to break. Alright, so, and it's a bigger, harder bone. Hurts a lot more to them. So, rear roundhouse body kick, step, kick, right back to your stance. Should be one step, hand up or down, kick, should land right back in my stance. Now, the left body kick, if I'm right-handed, is going to be a switch kick. The main problem I see with people doing their switch kicks is they have a really wide switch. Before you even get the kick off, most people mess up. They switch and they're here. This is like running the 40 and starting from this position. I'm not going to get a lot of push out of this leg. It's already fully extended. It's maxed out. I want to switch and have my feet in the exact opposite position that they were. So my left foot is going to be in line with my back foot, and my right foot's going to be in line with where my left foot was. I'm going to switch short. For one, it's going to make the kick a lot faster. Two, it's going to keep your feet underneath your hips. So you generate a lot more power. Three, if I'm on a slippery, say I'm sparring on a slippery mat or it's a slippery cage, and I go to do this, and my foot lands back here, and there's a puddle of sweat right there, my foot's going to slip. Alright, I want to always have my feet underneath my hips, so whenever I go to switch, I'm going to be here. It's not a big switch, my feet switch, so if I was to fight southpaw, this would be the exact stance I would be in. Alright, it's not going to be the big switch, it's here. Now, as I go to throw the kick, I want to still come up with this straight line right here. Usually they're going to have their elbow flared out just a little bit. I want to come straight up, straight up. When I get close to the elbow, I turn it in. Alright, so I'll go slow motion. I switch. Now this hand's going to come down. This hand's going to come across. I'm going to go straight up, and then in. Alright, again, I switch. This hand's going to start to come down at the same time to help balance and create that torque. Hand comes across, boom, straight up, and then in. Make sure you're not kicking with the outside of the calf. If I hit my calf to his elbow, I promise you it's not going to feel good. That leg needs to be up at a 45 while I kick and turn into the last second, right into that floating rib. A little faster. Short stance, short switch. When that foot touches, it's coming right back off the ground. Try not to switch and not let it touch the ground. I see people do that all the time as well. That foot touches and then it comes off the ground as fast as you can. Like you're trying to jump as high as you can. Alright. One more. Alright. Lastly, we got the head kick on both sides. I throw these, I don't throw them often. Not because they're not there, because I'm not flexible. But it's the same as throwing the body kick. They're definitely going to have to use their arms to block this, their hand. So the hand down, it's not nearly as big a deal. Unless they scoot back out of range, then they have to have their arms up to block this kick unless they want to eat. Alright, so I'm going to go with the roundhouse head kick. Same thing, I step to the outside so I still get all my power. Now, whenever I step to get as high as I can, I'm going to step and be on the balls of my foot. That's going to help me pivot and at the same time get my leg up. The leg's still going to come straight and then turn at the very end. I don't want to bring it really wide around because that's going to be a really long, slow kick. Alright? So when I come in with this kick, it's one step on the balls of your foot, right there to the head. Right back to your stance. Hand comes down to help balance and help create that torque, and I'm right back. See, notice how I'm not stepping here to the middle, because that's going to get me off balance and I'm not going to have as much power on my kick. I am stepping to the outside of his body and then landing the kick. Same thing with the switch kick on the opposite side. I switch and my foot's going to be outside of his. Don't switch and move this way. That's going to lose my power. I don't want to move this way to kick that way. If I come here, I'm off balance. Don't really have power in that kick. I should already have the outside right here. Whenever I switch, that foot stays in the straight line. It doesn't move inwards. Foot's already outside. Foot stays outside. I'm going to lean, throw that hand down, land my head kick. Again, try to be on the ball of that foot. Now, when you finish this switch kick, I'm trying to throw it slow here, so it's making it a little hard for me to bring it back at the right speed. When I throw the kick, this foot's going to come back in line with this foot. Back foot resets again, should be right back in my stance. One more time. Alright, so we have a couple of more kicks. We have the lead and rear teep, or push kick. These really work well if I have my distance right. If I'm too far away, I'm not going to be able to land my lead teep. Alright, so you might still be able to land your jab and everything, and you definitely could still land your rear teep, but I can't land that front one, which is the one I like to use the most. So I need to make sure I'm still in the right distance like I was earlier, to where I'm still on the outside, and just out of range where I can't touch it with my arm, but my lead leg can. Alright, so we're going to go over the lead teep first. I'm already standing 60-40, 60% of my weight on my back legs, 40% on the front. Whenever I go to throw this lead teep, left hand's going to come down to help balance and push me forward. But it's not going to come down early, because then it doesn't help me at all. Alright, so I shift my weight back a little bit whenever I get ready. This hand's going to come up. As this leg comes up, that hand's going to start to go down as I extend the leg out. I don't want to bring the hand down when the leg comes up, because now I'm not going to have that extra push. Alright, leg comes up, arm comes up a little bit. Alright, leg comes up, arm comes up. Now, as this leg starts to push out, I'm going to pull the arm down to help balance me and shift my weight forward. So I'm here right in my range, leg comes up, out. On this, I can land with the whole foot or the ball of my foot. Preferably, I like to land with the ball of my foot, stab it right in the gut. I promise you, it does not feel good. Knocks the wind out of a lot of people that I go with. If I do land with the foot, the whole foot, I want to land up higher on the chest to try to knock them down. The one thing I want to make sure I don't do is I do not want to bring my foot straight up, because any new person, even advanced people, will bring that elbow in and you're going to break some toes. If you've done a teep kick before, you've probably had this happen. You might not have broke your toes. I promise you, it does not feel good. So don't come straight up and out. Leg comes up, foot still in. As the leg comes up, I'm here. Push. Wait, I'm also not just pushing my leg out. I'm going to lean back like I'm in a recliner. Boom. And that's going to help to get my leg out farther, to get even more of my body weight in there. So I'm here, I lean, and land. Alright, so still in this correct range where I'm right here. If I'm too close, I can still land that teep kick, just like I could, if I was too far, I could land the rear kick. But now I can't land the right teep, the rear teep, because I'm too close. I might be able to get it up there and get here, but that's not going to have any power. If I'm in that correct stance, correct distance, correct range, then I can get this leg up and come across. Alright, still, same thing. Don't bring this straight up. You're going to either catch them in the balls or you're going to catch the elbow with your toes. Leg comes up. Hand's going to go down. Preferably, I want this arm to come across to protect you on both sides of your chin right here. You can just keep it on this side. Preferably, I like to have it like a mask. So I'm here. Comes up. Out. Still going to shift my weight back, but to this side. Alright. One last time. I'm in my correct range. Should be able to touch with the front teeth. Should be able to hit with the rear teeth. That's how you know you're in the correct range. You might be able to step and still land your punches, but if you're too far out, you can't hit with the lead teeth. If you're too close in, you can't hit with the rear teeth. You should be just right. Come in a little bit. Right there. Should be just right to where I can't hit without stepping. But I can land that lead teep. I can also land the rear teep, getting the arm across. Alright, next we're going to go on over some defense. So we have your slips, your blocks, and your parries. You also have the roll. I don't do too much rolling. I will roll if I get in that situation, but the main three are slipping, blocking, and parrying. So we're going to go over the hard block first. If somebody is in front of you throwing any of the punches that we went over earlier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, straights, uppercuts, hooks, and even the overhand, this is there to block those if you're in range. If not, you can still parry, block. Even in range, you can parry and slip. But the hard block is going to be the one that I suggest you use the most, especially as a beginner if you are. I have my feet in my regular stance. In this position here, say I see this guy throwing whichever punch he wants. So he can throw either of the straights, 1 or 2, your jab or your cross. I can block the jab or the cross with this side or with this side. The key to all this is I want to make sure that when I go to block, I don't do this. It's not a chain reaction where one goes up and the other one comes down and leaves me open on one side. I'm here. When this one goes up, this one comes back to my face. This one's going to come across. I'm going to move my hand up like I'm scratching the back of my hair. If I'm a girl, I'm pushing my hair back and then I'm scratching my head. That's where I'm going to be. The middle of my thumb or the middle of my hand is going to be across the back of my ear. That way, I know that I got a real strong grip and a real strong base right there, so they don't hit and just come back and hit me. Whenever I'm here, this comes up and comes across. I'm going to peek over and look, continuing to look. I don't want to block and close my eyes or turn to where I can't see the next strike coming, because then I don't know what's going to come next, and I'm most likely going to get hurt then. I want to always see what's coming. Boom, here, they throw something else on the other side there. Here, you might block twice with this side. It doesn't matter. You want to make sure you can see at all times. So, when I'm with my partner here, and he goes to throw his jab, I can't block here, but I can still see him. I'm peeking over my arm. He throws his jab again. I can also block on the other side. I can also still see. And then this side. He throws his jab and I block with my lead hand. That's fine. This hand's still up. I can also still see. He throws his jab. I can block with the other hand right there. Alright, back to the other side. He throws his cross. Same exact thing. It doesn't matter as long as it's a straight punch. I can block with either side. Now notice when I'm blocking, the other hand is not coming down and leaving me exposed. Alright, that's super simple with the straight punches. Now if he starts to throw hooks, that's going to change it up. I cannot block with either side. If he throws his left hook, his 3, and I go to block with my left hand, I'm going to open up my face to get hit. From the side. He throws his 3 and I go to turn this way, I'm opening myself up to get hit there. Go again. So I want to make sure that whenever he throws his 3, this side comes up, this hand comes up, and I'm still blocking. I'm still going to turn in. That turn does, don't throw it this time. What that turn does is it allows me to have my shoulders turn and my base ready to throw back a strike. If I just stay square here, my next punch is going to be an arm punch. So if I'm looking to counter, he throws that 3, I turn in, and then I throw my hook. Alright, back over here. He throws his 3, I turn and block. Now I'm loaded, ready to go. Arms in the back, shoulders turned. I can come back with the 3 of my own. He throws his 6, that overhand. I can come here, hands still up. Now I'm loaded. I can throw back on my own. Alright. Now with the uppercuts, we're going to block the uppercuts the same way. Hands still going to come to the same spot, but we're going to have to block these with our elbows. You're not going to block it with anything else. So if he goes to throw his 4, which is going to be his right uppercut, I can block with either side. Here or here. Preferably, I like to block with the same side, the 4, so I can return immediately with that back hand. Some people like to block with the opposite side, so their hand's down, and you might beat them back. That's definitely up to you, whichever you prefer. Practice them both, see what you like. Make sure to keep that hand up tight, elbow across, hand here. So whenever I block, hand pushes the hair back. This hand stays up, it does not come down at the same time. Hand up, arm across, peeking over. Don't turn away and not look. You want to be able to see the strikes coming. Alright, now we're going to go over parry. So, personally, I like to parry down and from the outside in. I have people that are high level. Joe Schilling, he likes to parry from the inside out and return. Preferably, I don't like to do that just because it leaves me open. Say he threw his jab, I parry this, that 2's coming right back across. Of course, he might not be ready and I might get there fast enough. I know that's what Joe likes to do. I personally like to parry either down with either hand or across from the outside in, not from the inside out. So the parry consists of not this, because if they feint, your hand is not here to block or to parry, whichever you want to do after. You can parry and then block, it doesn't matter. But if I bring my hand down, I'm not doing either. I might have to slip after that. So I want to be here. If I go to parry, just my wrist moves, so when it comes back, it's right back to where it was. They have a lot of force in the punch going in this direction. So it's going to be hard to stop that punch in this direction, but to deflect the punch does not take much. So if you barely touch it, even though it's going fast and hard, it's going to go off and it's not going to hit you. So make sure it's just the wrist moving, and you're right back to where you were. If they feint and you're back here, you're ready to parry again. Or you can parry with either side. So the thing about the straights, if you're parrying down, if he throws his jab, I can parry with this side. If he throws his jab, I can parry with this side. If he throws his cross, I can parry with this side. If he throws his cross, I can parry with this side. That's fine. Now if he goes to throw his cross, that's his right. On this side, my left side, I do not want to parry from here because it leaves me open for the 3 and the jab right there. Also a kick if he throws that after. But I want to parry from the outside in because there's nothing else over here that I'm worried about. This hand's up on this side. He's not hitting me with anything, and then I can return. When I parry also, I want to make sure my shoulders turn and it loads me up so that I can return immediately. I parry with this side, the hand flicks down, shoulders turn, I can return my 3. Alright, so with my partner, he throws his jab, I can parry with my right hand, I can parry with my left hand going down. I can parry with my right hand across. Do not want to parry with this hand coming across because I'm wide open. Alright, with his cross, I can parry. With his cross, I can parry down with either hand, or across, and return. Make sure those shoulders are turning whenever you parry so that you're ready to immediately return. Alright, I do not want to try to parry a hook or an uppercut. If he throws the uppercut and I go to parry, it's most likely going to hit me by the time I hit his arm. His punch is going to have hit me already. So we don't try to parry the uppercuts. We try to hard block the uppercuts. We also cannot parry the hook. When he goes to throw his hook on either side, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to try to bring this down. I'm going to have this up to block. Preferably I turn in and I get ready to throw my next punch. You can try to block and parry. I don't know why you would. Personally, it's not a preference of mine. Make sure you're hard blocking the hooks and the uppercuts. Now, the last thing we're going to go over is the slips. Now, the slip, people think they have to go all the way down on this side and all the way down on this side to get out of the way. Their punch or their glove is only so big. I have to move just out of that range to where their punch or glove slips right past me. If you go through and watch my fights, I know I got a bunch of videos or a bunch of pictures online where it looks like the person's arm, even in the UFC fights, is sitting on my shoulder and I'm returning at the same time. But it's because I slipped just enough. Just like in a hurdle, person running hurdles. The higher you jump over the hurdle, the slower you're going to be. You're going to come in last. The person that barely jumps over it and barely misses it is going to be the fastest. So when I barely miss that punch and I turn my shoulders, I'm ready to return immediately. The farther I go down, the longer I'm going to come back to try to throw my punch. Or if I come back across and slip the next punch, I'm probably going to get hit because they're throwing the punches quick. They're not going to wait on me to get all the way back up to throw the next punch. So I want to slip, or slip and return. Alright? So when he goes to throw his jab, I want to make sure I'm not all the way down here. All the way down here is not bad. It's just going to make it a really long place to come back from. Also, if he feints that and throws the kick, I'm going to be wide open. So I want to make sure that's not happening. When he throws that jab, I want to make sure I move in a little bit, not back. I step and I move in, and I'm ready to throw. See how his arm is sitting on my shoulder? That is exactly where I want to be. If he does this cross, I want to do the same thing. Step, shoulders turned, ready to throw. Alright? The farther you go, the slower it's going to be. I don't want to try to slip the hook. If he throws a hook, I can roll it, which is not bad. The roll, we don't bend over because the knee's right there for us to get hit. I want to make sure I roll, I turn my shoulders, my legs do the work. I'm here. I'm making a U with my head. So I see that hook coming, I turn, I roll here. Now, as I roll, my shoulders turn. Now I'm ready to throw. Right shoulder's in the back. I am ready to return immediately. Preferably on any of the slips, I like to return at the same time. If he throws the jab and I slip, I like to throw my jab at the same time. It doesn't hurt anything because I'm already in this position. My shoulder's going forward. Why not throw the punch? The punch that's going to hurt this person the most is the punch that he doesn't see coming while they're throwing. So if I ever slip a punch, I like to return at the same time. I'm already in the position to return. If I slip the jab, I'm going to throw my jab at the same time. The shoulders are turned. I'm in that position ready. Now I can still, he's not going to leave the arm out there. It's going to come back and I can still return. If he throws the cross, I'm going to come in and throw this as well. I still move my head just outside, didn't go too far down, and I landed my cross, turned my shoulder, so I'm ready for my next strike. Also, if I try to lean back, if I'm scared of this punch, and he throws his jab, I'm not going to be able to land that punch because I'm leaning back. This is where that step in helps with either side. Now, when he goes to throw the hook, whenever I do my roll, I also turn my shoulders. Now, when I'm coming across, I'm turning my shoulders the other way, so why would I not hit him to the body at the same time? I'm rolling underneath, hit to that body, shoulders turned, right there. Again, he throws his hook, I hit, and I come back. Alright, so we've gone through the blocks, the slips, and the parries. Now we're going to go through some kick defense. So, if I throw the calf kick, the thigh kick, or the body kick, they're all different, even the head kick. The leg kicks, you're not going to try to catch or block because then you have to bring a hand down. If they fake that kick and they go high and your hand's down, it's going to be a head kick. Probably knockout, not knockout, knockdown. Going to hurt you regardless. Not going to look good. So I want to make sure I'm still right foot outside or power hand outside of his lead foot, front foot facing the back leg. That way if he throws his calf kick, I can just lean in or I can turn and pick it up. Remember 60-40. 60% weight on the back foot, 40% on the front. Now when he goes to throw this calf kick, if I see it in time, I'm going to check. I'm going to pick that leg up. I'm not going to keep my toes pointed down because that flexes this calf muscle right here. So it stops your bone from being able to catch as much. So I want to keep that foot flexed upwards a little bit. Like I'm have my boot on. So when he goes to throw this kick, I check right here. Toes are already facing out, so I shouldn't have to turn my leg. If I'm going to turn just a little bit, that's fine. At this point, whoever shin is hardest is going to be the one that wins. So if I throw that and I kind of half-ass throw it, it's not going to feel good for me. Still not going to feel good for him, but he's probably going to win that. So when I throw this kick, I need to throw it and throw it hard. When he checks, he needs to check and make sure he has a strong leg. If your leg bends back, that's the leg that's going to lose. If you let your leg bend back when it catches, it's like punching a window. If you punch a window and you don't go through, it's going to hurt your hand. You punch a window and you go through, you don't feel it at all. Same thing. If I kick this and I kind of timidly kick it, I'm going to feel that kick. If I kick and I kick hard, he's going to be the one that feels that because I'm going to push his leg back. Alright, just disperses the energy through him. Now when I go for these leg, or he goes for the high thigh kick right here, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, throw it up here. Alright. I don't want to pick it up super high. I can still check with this upper shin and knee. If I start to pick it up really high, then the next time that I go, or if I'm throwing these and he picks it up really high, the next time he throws that, I'm going low and sweeping out the back leg. So let's make sure that when we pick this up to check, throw that high, it's just a little bit. I can pick it up right there to where he still can't get underneath that leg, and I can still check. Alright? So make sure foot's out, he's going, he might be throwing punches, whatever he's doing, check. Alright, now I know a lot of people like to check with both legs. I personally don't because I have 60% of my weight on my back leg, 40% on the front. So if I need to switch, if he goes to throw this back to the back leg, and I need to switch, I need to move my weight. It's going to take too long. So when he goes to throw to this back leg, I'm just going to bring this leg across right here. Or if he goes to throw the inside or the back leg, go to throw. I just bring this leg across so I don't have to shift my weight. It's a faster movement and works just fine. He's not going to be able to hit this leg when this leg comes in front. Alright, now to the body kicks. When he goes to throw the body kick, I don't want to just take this here and let it hit me in the arm. Go ahead. Because that's still going to start to beat up my arm, and later on my arm's going to start to come down because it's getting beat up and getting tired. I want to make sure that whenever he starts to throw, don't throw yet, I'm going to lean. My elbow is going to touch my hip bone. My hand is still going to be where it was earlier, and I'm going to lean into the kick. Don't lean away, because when they go to kick, it's going to move you. You're going to be off balance this way, and it's going to make the kick look like it hurt you worse than it did. Alright, so make sure you're here. When he goes to throw this kick, I lean. This hand's going to be here. I'm going to try to stop the leg from ever hitting me at all, if I can. It's going to be like I'm stiff arming back at the same direction. Now when we do this, don't open up right here, because if you miss, you are going to get kicked. Alright, or to the body. So I'm going to lean, and then I'm going to push right here. So he goes to throw, I lean, and I push, and I get him off balance. If I do this just right, and I push it back, he's going to be off balance. I can even sweep him. And then I step to throw my knee while he's off balance, or step to throw my punch or kick. Alright, again, he's here, and I can throw my kick right there. Again, with my uppercut right there. One more, uppercut, knee. Alright, the harder you get that push, the better you're going to be of getting him off balance and his head down low so you can land a strike. Another thing I like to do, I did a lot in the Contender Series, and probably the one I go with the most, when they throw the kick, I'm going to cup. I'm still going to block everything the same, but I'm going to cup over and sweep the leg through so then I can return or start to sweep him out, sweep the leg out right here. So say he goes to throw this right body kick, boom, I come here. Now that I have this cupped, usually going to be around the Achilles right here, I'm going to move my hips back, and I can control. I don't have to rush. He might try to punch me or whatever, but if I'm pushing him back, it doesn't matter. Alright? So he throws the kick. Boom, I come in, sweep, and I have my sweep right here as well. He throws the other side, same thing. He throws the switch kick. Come in, I sweep. To get this sweep on the leg, I can't be out here trying to kick. I don't have any weight or my hips into that kick. So I'm going to keep this elbow high, and I'm going to step in with my lead foot so my hips get up higher. Now when I go to step in, I pull through. I'm not going to try to kick. It's not going to be something hard where I'm hurting my partner like this. I step through, pull up, and get my hips into the kick, or into the sweep. He throws that switch from here, sweep across, get him in close, sweep. Throws the other side, whoop, throws the other side, same thing, or I can block right here. Make sure you're leaning into the kick. You can throw whichever side, I don't care. Now the good thing about this is, if I miss with this, and I don't open up, make sure I'm staying here leaning, I miss, I'm still there to block. That's why we don't block like this. Don't block like this. Lean here. If that hand misses, go again. We're still good. Alright? Now, same with the head kick. Head kick, I try not to push down as much because I'm coming from a weird angle and I'm not going to have much power there. I'm definitely going to try to sweep this one. When he throws this head kick, I'm going to sweep and get him here. Again. Sweep and get him here. If he gets out, I sweep and he gets away, that's fine. Head kick didn't land, I win. Again, same side. Boom. Other side, switch kick. Alright, so make sure even on those head kicks, you're leaning in so that you are not getting off balance. That kick's not going to land any harder when you lean in. You're actually going to take away some of the power because he's not getting to the full speed. You're stopping him before he gets that full speed and momentum. That's pretty much it for the roundhouse kicks. Now for teep kicks, we want to make sure we don't do the same side to stop the teep kick. So if he comes with this side, I'm going to try not to use this same side. His left leg, my right hand. Because if he switches that and throws a kick instead, he makes it look like a teep and throws a kick instead, my hand's not there to block. So I always want to go left hand, left leg, right hand, right leg. It doesn't matter if he's southpaw, orthodox, whatever stance he's in. If he goes to throw the teep, I'm going to sweep and I'm going to get that elbow up high. Because now I'm in the same position I just was whenever I caught the kick and brought it across. Same position, so I can step in and get the sweep. Throw that lead teep again. Here. Now, he is trying to land this, so when I go to sweep, I am going to push my butt. Keep your feet still. Push your butt back. Throw the teep again, get in range. Where you're supposed to be, right here. Boom, right here. Butt went back, now I can come in. If not, I have whatever options you want to throw, that's fine. Throw the rear teep, same thing. Here, make sure that butt goes back. He might graze you a little bit. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to hurt you. When you catch this, make sure that elbow is up high. Don't let it be down here because he's just going to stomp his foot to the ground. Throw that rear again. Elbow up high. Now he's not stomping the foot to the ground. And I have him controlled. If I want to step in and get my sweep, I can. Preferably, I like to step in and throw the kick to the body. So throw the lead. Throw your lead teep. Boom. I like to throw this step, throw here, or I like to throw the same side hook. Throw that lead again. Boom. Step, and throw my hook right here. And then I can finish with the cross or whatever. But that should land because he's off balance this way. Alright, so we're just going to go over some basic combos. First one's not really a combo, it's just the jab, making sure we're doing everything right. We're not going to punch at him, we're just going to act like he's holding mitts. So with your partner, you can do this. He's going to hold his glove not to the side in front of his face, so I'm not punching like this. You're never going to hit anybody like that. You're always going to be punching towards their face. So I'm out of range, can't touch him. Now when he holds his glove up, I step with my jab. When I get done throwing, I'm right back out. Front foot should be facing his foot, if not a little more outside. Right foot should be just outside of his lead foot. Jab, right back. jab, right back. As soon your jab and your step should land at the same time. There's no pause to wait and see if you land it. You throw it and you get right back. Throw it, right back. Throw it, right back. So it's literally going to be on the ground for a half a second or a split second. And then I'm right back to my stance, making sure that hand comes right back to my face and not back to my hip. Because when I come back to my hip, he should return that 2 right there. Alright? Next combo, 1-2. We're still going to step the same way with our jab. We're here. Now we're going to pivot on this back foot and throw the 2. Left hand comes back to the chin. If it's not throwing a punch, it's touching your chin. Now I'm going to turn my shoulders back and get right back to my stance. Same thing. 1, 2. Speed it up, real speed. 1, 2. Make sure your partner holding the pads. Don't hold to the side. In front of the face, replace in front of the face. That's where I'm going to be punching in real life. Right back out. Right back out. Right back out. Now, another thing that's important. When you throw your punches, don't stand up tall. You're going to lose your power. You got to sit down into your punches. So when I'm here, I throw my jab, sitting down, weights in the back. When I go to throw my cross, I'm going to transfer my weight to the front, and I'm going to sit down again so I'm ready to throw my next punch and still have power. If I'm standing up tall, it's going to be hard for me to get any power. Alright, next combo is just going to be 1, 2, 3, super simple. Jab, throw my cross, weight shifts forward, left hand's up, throw my 3, weight shifts back, right hand's up, and I get right back out. Again, 1, 2, weight forward, hand up, 3, weight back, hand up. A little faster. Again, real speed. Make sure when you're throwing this 3 and you're shifting your weight, your head's going to come back across. Wherever your head's at, your weight's going to be at. So when I go to throw this 3, my head shifts across. So if he throws, my head's off the center line, and I'm in the correct position to be ready for my next strike. Alright, one more time, full speed. Alright, next combo is going to be 1, 2, slip 2. Remember on the slips, we don't slip far. We're just going to make sure we just get out of range. That hand can even clip us just a little bit. That's fine, as long as it doesn't hit flush. So I'm going to throw my 1, the 2. Head's on this side when I throw my 2. That way my head's never in the center line. I don't want to be standing still with my head straight up. Chin down, jab. Cross, head comes across. He throws his jab back. I slip, his hand's going to be sitting on my shoulder. I shouldn't slip any farther than this. Now I'm going to come back with my 2. Now in real life, he's not going to leave that punch out there. He's going to punch and get back like he should. So we're going to go again, 1, 2, slip 2. Even though I'm slipping, this hand doesn't come down. I'm still going to keep this hand here just in case he does throw to this side. Good. Partner, don't throw to the side either. He's going to throw straight down the middle. Alright. 1, 2, slip 2. Now if you want to do a little more advanced version, you can hit to the body as you slip. So I throw my 1, 2, slip, and throw the 2 across. Alright, one more. Alright. Now we're going to end with the 1, 2, slip, 2, 3. Everything's going to be the same. Just get your head across when you throw this last 3. We're going to go slow. 1, 2, slip if you want to. If you don't, you're right here. 2, when I go to throw my 3, body weight comes back across. You should be just out of range right there. 1, 2, slip, 2, 3. 1, 2, slip, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, slip, 2, 3. Good. Alright, next combo. We're going to go back to just the jab. We're going to add the right leg kick after this. You can go calf kick or thigh kick. I'll show you both. Really just preference. But we want to make sure our weight's still back when we throw this jab. Now when we go to throw this kick, we're going to transfer it forward so our weight comes in with the kick. Remember, if the hand goes down, this hand has to come across to protect you. Jab. If you want to, throw that same side hand as the leg that you're kicking with in the face. Turn the thumb down, get that shoulder up to protect you. Jab, kick. Jab, kick. If I go to the thigh, same thing. I'm just going to bring it up a little higher. All right, we're also going to go jab, inside leg kick. Jab, step. Jab, step, kick. Back to my stance. Jab, step, kick. Back to my stance. Make sure this hand is still up when I throw that kick to protect. Jab, step, kick. A little faster. One more. Alright, same thing with going to the rear leg. I jab, I step, I kick to the rear leg. I jab, I step, hand comes back to get my shoulders turned, kick to the rear leg. One more. Jab, step, kick to the rear leg. Alright, now we're going to go 1-2 inside leg kick. 1-2, weights forward. I'm going to get my head back across, turn my shoulders. This is usually when I put this hand out. So that he sees it, looks like another punch coming. I land my kick. Again, step, kick. Remember, when you step, try not to step forward. Try to step outside so you get more power and balance. Alright, same thing going to the back leg. 1-2, hand across, step outside, kick. This one you might have to step a little farther forward so that you can get a little deeper. You don't want to try to catch that back leg with your foot. If you hit the knee, it's not going to feel good at all. So you might need to step a little farther forward, but you're still going to step to the outside. Next, we're going to go 1-2, same side kick. The 2 is going to land, but it's not going to have all the power in the world. You are trying to make him see that 2. Catch. Come on, Paul. You're trying to make him see that 2 so that he doesn't see the kick. This, again, you can go to the calf or the thigh. Personal preference. Change it up every now and then. 1. I throw my 2. As I pivot on this back foot with the 2, that's when my leg's going to come off the ground. The 2 is not going to have any power. It's just going to be something that blinds him. He sees that 2, he's blocking, he doesn't see the kick. So I'm 1, foot starts to pivot, leg comes off the ground. Switch sides. From here, 1, foot starts to pivot. As it pivots, it comes off. A little faster speed. One more. So it shouldn't be much of a break. He shouldn't have a chance to throw a punch in between the 2 and the kick. Alright, we're going to go 1-2, switch kick. It depends on if this person is staying still and holding their ground, or if they're moving, if you switch, or if you're going to do a step kick. If this person's running back every time I throw a combo, I'm not going to be able to switch and land because he's going to be moving backwards while I'm switching in the same spot. So I'm going to have to do a step kick in this situation. So whenever I go, I'm going to go 1, 2, he's out of range. I'm going to step forward, throw my kick. That's going to help me keep up with him as he backs up. Again, boom, to the body. You can also go to the lead leg inside or the back leg. I just always find that the body is open when he backs up and he raises his hands up. One more. Alright, now if you have that person that's staying still, trying to hold their ground every time you throw some strikes, this is when you will switch. Move up a little bit. I'm going to be here. I'm going to throw my jab, throw my cross. Now I'm going to switch. Remember, the switch is not big. It's going to be short. Foot's going to be open and to the outside of his leg. I'm here. 1, 2. Short switch. Comes up straight at this angle. And I get right back to my stance. Again, 1, 2, short switch. This hand's going to come down, this hand's going to come across, and land. A little faster. Last one, full speed. Move up a little bit right there. Alright, so the next combo is going to be 1, 2, 3, rear leg kick. Everything's still going to be the same. I step in, throw my jab, weights back, step in, throw my 2, left foot forward, weight. Now when I go in and throw my 3, weight shifts back. Now, right now, I don't want to just turn and throw this kick and pivot on this foot. It's going to have me a little more off balance. I want to make sure after I get done with my 3, I take a little step. It's going to give me time to make my space. If I need to step back, if I feel like I'm in too close with that 3, then I have time to step back. Or it's going to give me time to get power on my kick. So I come here, I can step more outside to throw that kick. So I'll be here 1, 2, 3, step, hand across. Or 1, 2, 3, step, hand down, other hand comes across. Alright, same thing. I'm going to go a little faster, a little full speed. Little step. It doesn't have to be huge, just enough. It's going to be really quick. I'm going to be from here to here. Alright, next, going to go to the body. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, got his hands up high. Going to land this to the body. Same kick's going to come the same way. I'm still going to take that little step. I'm just going to bring my legs straight up at that angle at that 45. 1, 2, 3, step, kick. Hand doesn't have to be in the face because he should block this with his hands, but I still prefer it there or hand across and hand down. Alright, so we just went over some short combos, easy combos, 1, 2, 3 kicks. We're going to do something similar, but we're going to make it a little more advanced. We're going to go changing the levels of the punches so that he doesn't just keep his hands up high when I go to throw these punches. When he brings those hands up high, I'm going to start to work the body, so that when I work the body, his hands come back down low. So I'll go 1 to the head, 2 to the body, his hands are down low, I'll go 3 to the head. It's going to give me those openings, and then I can finish with my kick like we just did. But this is going to make it just a little more advanced. You might also go 1, 2 to the head, 3 to the body because his hands are up. Again, make sure you're getting that head across. I might go 1, 2 to the body, and then go 3 to the head. Now his hands are down, 3 to the head. Or I might go 1 to the body, 2, 3 to the head. 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's just going to give you some openings that you might not have if you're always throwing strictly to the head. Also, changing up the timing on your punches is a really good thing. So, if he holds 1, 2, 3 for me, even if he holds 1, 2, 3 to the body, it's all the same timing, so they know block, block, block. Let's change up the timing a little bit. Let's go 1, 2, 3, all to the head. 1, 2, 3. So by the time they block the 1, next punch doesn't come, they bring their hands back down, they get hit with the 2 and the 3. Again, you want to do these combos as they sound coming off. 1, 2, 3. So your gloves should sound 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If I want to change it up even more, I'll still stick with that 1, 2, 3, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3 to the body. The 2 and the 3 both going to the body. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Or I might change it up a little more. 1, 2 to the body, 3 to the head. But it's still going to be 1, 2, 3. Again. That's just one way. You might go 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. There's 1,000 different ways you can change this up. 3 punch combinations between going to the head and the body and changing the timing. You have so many different ways that you could throw that same combo the whole time through a fight and they not know it's the same combo just because the timing and the placement's different every time. Alright, same thing when you add kicks. If I go 1, 2, 3 and they're all to the head, I'm not going to throw the kick to the head because his hands are up high. I'm going to make sure to throw the kick to the body or the leg. Now if I go 1, 2, 3 to the body, I can throw the kick to the leg or to the head because his hand should be down by the body. So I'll go 1, 2, 3 to the head, land the kick to the body. Or land the kick to the leg, I'm sorry. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3 to the head still, land the kick to the body. 1, 2, 3. That should have me the opening. I might go 1, 2, 3 to the body, kick to the head, he should block. I mean, he's going to block now, but during the sparring or the fight, you should have that opening. 1, 2, 3 to the body after my head kick. Or I still throw that 3 to the body, and I can go to the leg because he's blocking the body. 1, 2, 3, kick. All right. Other things, you might go 1, 2, 3, make it look like a kick, make it look like you're throwing the kick. I'm going to bring that leg around and then come up to the middle for my teep. 1, 2, 3. I want to bring my leg around and then come straight up. So they see that, it looks like that roundhouse kick coming. Same direction, and then bring it straight up. Knee's going to start to turn halfway through, and you're going to push with the balls of your foot. Combos 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. Now you got them used to the 1, 2, 3 leg kick. 1, 2, 3, teep. Next, we're going to work on getting in and getting out. They might throw it back. In real life, in sparring, in a fight, they're never just going to stay still. They're either going to be moving back or they're going to be moving forward, throwing back at you. So we're going to start off basic. We're going to throw 1, 2. He's going to come forward. I'm going to move back, and then I'm going to return the 2. 1, 2, 2. Again, 1, 2, back up, 2. Now when he comes forward, he might throw a jab or a cross. He might throw both. Throw a jab cross this time. So I come forward, 1, 2, and I need to be ready. Again, 1, 2, return. Get the punches out there quick. Boom, and return. Now, he might throw jab, jab. We do the same thing. You can block, block, but if you're moving, you should be just at a range where it doesn't hurt, doesn't hit you. But I still like to parry at the same time. I prefer not to block so I can use my shoulders. I parry, parry, return. I'm here. 1, 2, parry, parry, return my 2. 1, 2, parry, parry, return my 2. Now, if you know that they're going to come forward after you get done with this 1, 2, I might throw my jab, jab instead. Still going backwards. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Making sure when I back up, back foot first, front foot, back foot, front foot. Don't back up like this. I go 1, 2, slow, back, back, cross. You don't have to have the cross, but that's going to be your power shot. 1, 2, back, back, cross. Again, 1, 2, back, back, cross. You might also try to work on them returning. If you parry, say he returns just the jab. I throw my 1, 2 and I get right back out. 1, 2, right back out. I parry, so when I parry, my shoulders turn. I'm going to return with this side if I can. Either straight or a hook and then the cross. So work on that. If you parry with the opposite hand, you might go 1, 2, he moves in. I parry with this hand. That's going to set me up for this cross because this hand is down. That's just something you need to think about when you're sparring or going. Try to make sure you see what's coming. Alright? The one thing we want to make sure we don't do is when we go backwards, we don't lean. When I lean, I'm stuck here until I get back over my hips. So that means I have to bring my head back towards him, which he might be throwing punches, so that's not going to be good. Other than that, I'm going to be leaning and trying to walk back like this, which is not good. I want to make sure that whenever I go back, I'm still forward and my weight comes back over my hips. Alright, 1, 2, he returns the jab. Alright, but notice how I'm stepping and I'm not jumping and I'm not leaning. I'm not jumping because I'm stuck there for a second. And I'm not leaning because I'm stuck here until I bring my head back in front or over my hips.